Grumpy Tales Africa present. Title: I faked amnesia after my husband's affair, he confessed everything. Chioma stood in her white gown, heart pounding as the priest blessed their union. The Lekki beach wedding was nothing short of magical: white tents, gold chairs, the smell of sea breeze and champagne in the air. Emeka, her groom, was everything she prayed for: tall, wealthy, charismatic. He was a real estate mogul with offices in Victoria Island and staff who worshipped his business brilliance. As they exchanged vows, Chioma believed in forever. She had waited for this, waited through heartbreaks, fake lovers, and job rejections. But Emeka felt different. He was tender, thoughtful, and made her laugh even on bad days. On their honeymoon in Zanzibar, he whispered, "Chioma, you're my life. I'll never hurt you." She had smiled, trusting those words. But just 6 months into the marriage, things started to shift. Emeka was always on his phone. His business trips became frequent and vague. His clothes carried a scent, sweet, citrusy, unlike Chioma's perfume. One night, she asked playfully, "Baby, who's your new secretary with the strong perfume?" Emeka laughed, avoiding her eyes. "It's probably one of the cleaners. Relax, love." Chioma laughed along, but her heart whispered warnings. She wasn't crazy. She knew how betrayal felt. It starts quietly, like termites in wood, gnawing under the surface. And she feared her perfect marriage was about to rot from within. In that moment, under the expensive chandeliers of their Lekki home, Chioma made a silent vow of her own. If Emeka was hiding something, she would find out. And this time, she wouldn't cry or beg. She would fight fire with fire. It was a rainy Thursday in Yoba when Chioma's suspicions solidified into truth. Emeka had just returned from a property inspection, drenched and tired. He dropped his phone carelessly on the table and went into the bathroom to shower. Chioma never touched his phone before, not even once in their relationship. But that night, something pushed her. The screen lit up with a message from an unsaved number. It read, "Last night was unforgettable. I'm still sore, baby." Her fingers trembled. The phone rang. Instinctively, she answered. "Hello," she whispered. A woman's sultry voice replied, I miss your hands already." "When next, baby?" Chioma didn't speak. She ended the call quietly and sat back on the couch, heart frozen. Her mind screamed, but her face remained still. When Emeka stepped out, towel around his waist, smiling as if nothing happened, she smiled back. But something inside her died. She didn't confront him. No slaps. No tears. No shouting. That would give him power. Instead, Chioma became still like the eye of a storm, quiet, watching, calculating. If Emeka was going to lie, she would let him walk straight into his own trap. And when he did, she would be waiting, with proof. That Saturday, Emeka claimed he had a real estate seminar in Abuja. "Just one night," he said, pecking Chioma's forehead. "I'll be back before you miss me." But Chioma already knew the truth. She hired a discreet e-hailing driver to follow him. The driver, instructed to keep distance, tailed Emeka's SUV from Lekki to Ekoi. Instead of the airport, he drove into a boutique hotel, one with tinted glass doors and no signboard. Chioma's heart pounded as she watched from the backseat of the cab. Minutes later, a woman emerged. Slim waist, heavy calves, wearing a short Ankara dress that clung to her like plastic. Emeka stepped out of the car, looked around quickly, then embraced her like he hadn't seen her in weeks. He kissed her. Openly. Passionately. Chioma didn't cry. She took photos. Snapped videos. And quietly instructed the driver to take her home. That night, Emeka called her from the hotel room, pretending to be at the airport. "Babe, the flight is delayed." "Can't believe Nigerian timing," he lied. Chioma looked at the screen, smiled, and replied, "That's okay. Just come home safe." But deep down, something was already in motion. She would make him regret underestimating her. For the next few days, Chioma said nothing. She smiled when Emeka came home. She laughed at his dry jokes. She even made his favorite Iforiro. But beneath the calm, her mind was crafting something dangerous, something that would make him confess without her raising her voice. She knew men like Emeka. Proud. Manipulative. They feared public disgrace more than they feared God. So if she wanted the truth, she needed to break him from the inside, slowly. She remembered an old article she read during her psychology elective. Fake amnesia can trigger guilt in a dishonest partner. When they think you've forgotten, they confess. It sounded ridiculous back then. But now, it was perfect. So, she planned it. Every detail. The location, the timing, the witnesses. The next morning, she sent Emeka a sweet text, "Miss you already, safe flight 2 hearts." He replied, "Love you, my queen." She stared at those words. Queen, he called her, while another woman wore her crown. Chioma looked at herself in the mirror that night. Calm face, steady hands, and eyes full of fire. Tomorrow, she whispered, the real show begins. And when it did, it would be a performance Lagos would never forget. Not. It was Sunday morning. Chioma dressed in a soft white wrapper and light blouse, something simple, like a village woman on market day. She made sure to look tired but graceful. Then she walked into the kitchen where Emeka sat scrolling through his phone, laughing to himself. "Babe, can you help me get the bucket from the store?" she asked sweetly. He nodded without looking up. "Sure. You okay?" Chioma smiled. "I just feel dizzy. Maybe I stood too fast." That was his only warning. As Emeka disappeared into the back, she moved to the staircase, sprinkled some water on the marble step, and waited. The moment he stepped out, she screamed, twisted her body, and fell hard. Thud. Her head hit the last stair. Emeka rushed to her side, horrified. "Chioma! Chioma!" he shouted, shaking her. Her eyes fluttered open slowly. Confused. Silent. "Who are you?" she whispered. His heart nearly stopped. "Chioma. It's me, Emeka, your husband." She blinked again. "I don't know you." Panic set in. He called the driver, rushed her to the hospital. The doctors ran tests. Nothing serious. But Chioma kept acting confused. No memory. No recognition. The trap had been set. And Emeka. He was already caught. At the hospital, Chioma lay on the bed, eyes vacant, voice soft. Emeka sat beside her, sweat beading on his forehead despite the air conditioning. "Chioma, it's me. Your husband. Don't you remember our wedding? Your favorite perfume. The honeymoon in Calabar." She tilted her head, brows furrowed. "I'm sorry, are you a doctor?" Emeka froze. The nurse walked in. "Sir, please let her rest. You can come back later." As he stepped out, Emeka called his pastor. "Pastor Mike, something's wrong. Chioma, she doesn't remember me. After a fall. I think it's amnesia." The pastor prayed, but Emeka's heart raced with something else, guilt. When Chioma returned home the next day, she stared at the house like a stranger. She walked through her own kitchen like it belonged to someone else. "This is my house?" she asked. Emeka nodded nervously. "Yes. And I help you remember everything." Chioma clutched his arm, smiling faintly. "Promise you'll tell me everything I've forgotten." He nodded. "Everything." She sat back, folded her arms like a judge before sentencing. "Good," she whispered. "Because I have this feeling that you're hiding something." Emeka looked away. And with that one sentence, Chioma began pulling the truth from him, piece by piece. 2 nights after the fall, Chioma sat with Emeka on the balcony, sipping warm kunu. The compound was quiet, save for the sound of distant generators humming in the Lagos night. "Tell me about our love," she said, resting her head on his shoulder. "What made us fall for each other?" Emeka sighed, staring into space. You were bold. Fierce. You made me feel like I mattered. Chioma smiled. So, when did you stop feeling that way? He blinked. What? She tilted her head. I mean, when did you stop loving me? Before or after you met her? Emeka's breath caught in his throat. What are you talking about? I don't remember your name, Chioma said calmly. But I remember pain. It lives somewhere in my chest. And I know another woman caused it. Emeka's face crumbled. He rubbed his palms together and whispered, it was a mistake. Just once. I swear. Her name is Tolani. It didn't mean anything. Chioma turned to him slowly. How long? 3 months, he muttered. But I ended it. She didn't flinch. Instead, she gave a small nod and said, I want to remember everything. Tell me more. And Emeka, like a prisoner begging for mercy, kept talking. Late that night, while Emeka slept soundly beside her, Chioma crept out of bed and tiptoed to the guest room. Her amnesia didn't stop her from remembering where she'd hidden the journal, under the bed, behind an old shoebox. It was her secret diary. Every lie, every suspicion, every clue, she had written it all down over the past year. Page after page of truth. She flipped to the last entry before her, 4. He thinks I don't know. That I'll never find out about the woman from Ekoi. But I've seen them. And I've made a plan. When the time comes, he'll tell me everything himself. Chioma ran her hand over the page, breathing deeply. She didn't feel broken anymore. She felt powerful. She slid the diary into her wrapper and returned to bed before sunrise. Emeka stirred in his sleep and murmured, I'm sorry, Chioma. I really am. In the morning, she served him breakfast with a warm smile. You were talking in your sleep, she said. He paused mid-bite, eyes wide. Chioma leaned in, almost whispering. You said her name again. Emeka's fork clattered against the plate. She smiled sweetly. Let's keep talking. I'm beginning to remember. Later that afternoon, while Emeka stepped out to pick up groceries, Chioma unlocked his second phone, the one he thought she never knew about. She had memorized the pattern months ago. Inside, messages to T-Baby flooded the screen. Photos. Videos. Promises. One particular voice note caught her attention. It was dated just a week before her accident. She tapped play. Baby, I swear, Chioma means nothing to me anymore. I'm only there for formality. You're my peace. Just give me time, and I'll handle her. Chioma's fingers tightened around the phone. She forwarded the audio to her own number, deleted the trace, and placed the phone back in the drawer. Her hands shook, not with pain, but with purpose. She would make him face the woman he betrayed. That evening, she sat by the window, the recording ready in her phone. Do you know anyone named T-Baby? She asked casually. Emeka's eyes darted. T. T what? She hit play. The color drained from his face. Chioma, I can explain. I'm not asking for explanations, she said coldly. I want the truth. He dropped to his knees. It was a mistake. I didn't mean any of it. She looked at him, eyes empty. You meant every word. Stay tuned for the concluding part of the story.